soon as the delay happens. So we are off and running here on this Link to the Past randomizer match. And apparently this is not our real uncle.
Isn't? Wow. I'm disappointed now. 300 rupees. Someone actually did call that. Nice. Good job.
Flagrama with the 300 rupee call. Good job. All right.
Now, I'm going to bet the uncle gives you the sword.
I was just going to make the same comment there. That is actually the only thing that is guaranteed here is Uncle giving you the sword. In this mode anyway, there are two modes for this game. There are open and closed. This is closed mode, so Uncle will always give you the sword. In open mode, he might not give you the sword. You never quite know what he's going to get.
Bombs. That means they can get 3 additional chests in Escape, which is always nice to not have to come back there.
Yeah, absolutely. Not having to backtrack is a huge thing here in randomizers because that can be the difference between, you know, winning a seed by 5 minutes or losing a seed by 5 seconds.
It's even worthwhile to attempt to kill a couple of the enemies to try and get the bomb drop before you head to that specific area.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing with this is enemy drops, prize packs from the enemy drops are randomized, so you're not quite sure what's going to drop. Soldiers may drop bombs, rats may drop bombs, so you never know. So it is a good idea to kill enemies coming in here.
Oh, you got your 1 rupee.
I did get my rupee, just not in the chest I wanted, but hey, it's close enough to beginning that I'll take it.
Yeah. Oh. Zelda Mirror would be fun.
So would a Master Sword. A Master Sword Pearl, unfortunately, means that all 3 Light World pet dungeons are pendants, and that's not nearly as fun as, you know, Master Sword Cane, for example. And there's the bomb drop we spoke about from one of these soldiers. Yeah, so for those of you who are just joining us, there is going to be no timer on your upper right-hand side there for DarkCucco. We capture the timers from their streams, and there is no timer over there, so we can't give you a timer to see. You can assume that the way the restream works here is that both runners are synced. So in theory, you can take a look at Tairr's timer, and you'll know the time that DarkCucco is at.
Struggling a little bit with the ball and chain. Got it.
Yep, so the ball and chain trooper being a little bit of a pain, but throwing the pots at him is going to be pretty easy to kill him, and it gets you away from getting hit by the giant ball and chain. And now we're going to see a theme here with the rest of this game. And that's going to be random NPCs following Link. So Link to the Past is really just a fetch quest with an eyeball fetish, and we'll explain the eyeball fetish a little bit later when we get to Dark World.
Yeah. That seems to be a recurring theme in all the Zelda games, though. The eyeball fetish.
But hey, you know, as long as there is a theme, and don't worry, I promise, once we get to Dark World, we get to one of the dungeons, we will explain what we're talking about. Just, you know, that's what we call a tease.
Yeah.
Right, so coming up next, once we get out of Sanctuary, it's going to be an interesting point because I have seen 2 schools of thought on how to go about routing when you get out of Sanctuary. Most runners, from what I've seen, will choose to go up into the Lost Woods, get all of those items, and then do Kakariko Village. I've also seen some people who do go down to the southeast part first, over by where the Ice Rod Cave is at.
Now, the interesting part about Cane of Brian, that's really nice. I got a magical item as well early on, so I guess both of us kinda got what we want. Now the interesting thing is about Light World in the seeds used for this tournament and the normal seed is that you don't need the lantern for the Light World. However, you do need the lantern in the Dark World, otherwise, well, you don't really need it. Some people can navigate in the dark without it, which is really amazing to watch. Most people will need the lantern, otherwise they'll get lost.
Yeah, and I 100% agree. Watching Dark Worlds be, or dungeons be explored in the dark is insane. If that does become a thing, there are 3 dungeons which can be explored in the dark. The Palace of Darkness, because why not? It's named the Palace of Darkness. Also, we would have Misery Mire and Turtle Rock.
Yeah, the room with the platform.
Yeah, so and what I've been told from runners is that the Turtle Rock dark room is the easiest to navigate as long as you've memorized which direction you have to face after which point. So from what I understand, that's the easiest one. I've never done it personally, so I can't confirm or deny that.
From getting lost, there's a shot like 100 times. I have trouble believing it, but those people have remembered the same route, like, and played it over 100 times, so I can definitely imagine why.
To be fair, that bit of information is coming from Andy, who, you know, I'm pretty sure if you've seen Link to the Past, you know who Andy is.
Yeah, Andy doesn't count. He's too good for us. Some nice bombs from the tree. What's also nice about this randomizer is that the items that you get from these trees, depending on how many monsters you killed without or with taking a hit, is also randomized. So normally you would get 1 rupee if you killed less than 4 enemies, a blue rupee if you killed more than 4 but got hit in between, and red rupees if you killed more than 4 and did not get hit.
So we've already determined that the lumberjack item is not going to be required because it is simply a measly 50 rupees.
That's always nice to know. It's personally one of the first things I check when I'm outside of Sanctuary. I just can't. I just really want the confirmation that I don't necessarily have to kill again for the lumberjack.
Yeah, it's always nice to know that you don't have to kill Aghanim to get the item. Now, there might be, we still might have to kill Aghanim because it might be our only way into Dark World, or there might be a fancy way of the only way getting the pyramid item, which could be required. But as of right now, Aghanim 1, not required, which is good.
Absolutely.
Well, good for them, not good for us in our entertainment, because that's one less thing they have to do now.
Yeah, that's true.
So we're going to go ahead and take care of the little block puzzle here in Kakariko, and it's going to yield us 5 chests. It's going to be some rupees, a heart container, a bomb upgrade, a heart piece. So far, nothing really fruitful here in this cave. We'll figure out the last bit here. And, ooh, that's good. Titan's Mitt!
There we go. That's definitely always a required item, I believe, because you need it to get into Gan's Tower. Because of the warp to the Dark World.
Yeah, Cucco now going down the well, and Tairr's going to be joining momentarily. So far we've got another heart container and another red rupee. Well, money's not going to be an issue this seed, as we've already hit 2 of the 300 rupee secrets. That means we have enough to do Bottle Vendor and Zora already.
I mean, these guys are loaded right now. Also, nice new potion they got there. It's always nice to have a bottle early on, because then you can check the sick kid.
Yeah, now, normally the sick kid here in Kakariko will give you the bug catching net, but again, this is randomizer, so as long as you have a bottle, you'll get whatever his item is, and, you know, hopefully it's something fun.
Which might actually be a bee in a bottle. Who knows? Will be quite interesting.
And we did miss it as we were doing some bunch of other things, but Bottle Vendor, Moon Pearl. So Aghanim 1 looking less and less required by the second.
Yeah. But they could go straight to Dark World right now, if they felt like it. Ooh, Hook from the Sick Kid.
Wow. This seed is being very generous.
Absolutely.
So at this point, I mean, there's still a couple of items that are going to be required. A fire source is more than likely going to be required, unless for some strange reason. No, this fire source is still going to be required no matter what. What am I saying? Forget me. Because there's a minimum of 4 dungeons that require a fire source, so fire rod is going to be required.
And there's always Gans Tower.
Yeah, there's that too. Hook shot, more than likely going to be required. Boots, not necessarily going to be required, but they're going to be nice to have. Cane of Samaria, more than likely going to be required, and hammer, definitely going to be required.
Tairr thinking to himself, should I get the powder? I saw it there, and I do believe he's going to get powder.
I mean, powder's one of those nice things to have because it's going to turn the anti-fairies into regular fairies, and on the off chance something important is hidden in Batman's cave over by the breadsmiths, then it's a good thing to have.
Yeah.
Nothing you absolutely want to find or need to find, but you're happy to find it.
It can be a required item if the dude has something important. Same with the mushroom or the book.
So as of right now, both runners have been taking a similar path, which is fine. You'll see that normally at the beginning of randomizers. Unfortunately for us, Tairr just paused the game and didn't pause it long enough for us to see anything.
Oh, I think Hera and Eastern are crystals.
I did see Eastern as a crystal, so that I can confirm.
Yeah, and Desert is also a crystal. In fact, Hera is crystal 1, Desert crystal 5, and Eastern crystal 7.
Wow, so a 3 crystal light world, that's awesome.
Yeah. Ooh, hook shot, nice. And did DarkCucco not pick up the powder?
Oh, he did, I just haven't marked it.
Oh.
Now the
Tairr taking a death here to crabs. Is crab? I don't know. I always call it crab.
Yeah, it's always crabs. But the thing of note, the reason we note the numbers on the crystals is because crystals 5 and 6 are very important. Because once you have crystals 5 and 6, that is the trigger for unlocking the big bomb, which could give access to a required enemy.
Yes, crabs do 2 parts of damage if you have the green nail. DarkCucco picking up the mushroom.
I think Tairr already got it too, but I'll have to wait till I see an inventory switch.
Yeah. In that case, the powder might be in front of it.
Right, but with that death, Tairr is going to go ahead and continue on through Death Mountain now, as DarkCucco is going to go into the somewhat appropriately named Light World Hype Cave, and we know it's going to be hype because we've seen some pretty good items in here.
Hoping he doesn't take a death there. Nice.
Old man giving us a heart. I'm not sure if that's good or bad.
He just shows his appreciation, I guess.
Oh, better than other times when he just gives you, like the single arrow. Now, the one thing we don't have access to right now is the mirror. So we are not going to be able to do all of the fun things that we need to do. In Spectacle Rock holding a red rupee, nothing we need. On top of the rock there, a blue rupee, also nothing we need. With the access to the hook shot here, we can go over to the eastern half of the mountain, which holds a plethora of goodies, in theory.
Yeah. I mean, there are 8 chests there, so 8 possibilities, at least something good.
Yeah, it's definitely also good to note that the 3 Light World dungeons are, in fact, crystals. The only bad part about that is our runners here can't take out any of the Light World dungeons. They are missing a required item for all of them. Eastern Palace requires the bow, Desert Palace requires a light source and could potentially require the boots, and Tower of Hera requires the mirror to get in.
Yeah. Or the hammer, actually. They could take the long road over East Side at that point. And use the hammer to take down those bags.
There's that too. We got another heart container here in this cave. 2 heart containers, getting all of the love.
Another heart piece. Wow!
Wow!
We get 4 hearts here. 1 because of the extra heart piece, and 3 from the heart containers. That's amazing. Oh, Tairr attempting the bomb jump there. He fell and he decides to skip it.
The cave showing all of the love here tonight.
Yeah.
All right, we have our first instance of, well, nope, no bunny, of course, because we have Moon Pearl. So DarkCucco opting to do some Dark World exploration and then says, nope, wait, no, don't want to do this, save and quit.
Mistakes have been made, perhaps. The island holding nothing too important. 5 arrow upgrade, which is not really necessary.
No, absolutely not. But now time to go through the long, spiral, winding room of, complete and utter boringness without the boots. This takes a little while, so put your feet up, relax, and grab some popcorn. Hopefully this long and winding path is going to reward us with something.
I'm going to say...
no? I'm going to say, well, money. Money's always a good reward.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Especially if you're going to head to Zora anyway, you have a couple of bottles extra, you might think, oh, I'm going to stack up on some blue potions if I have the money for it.
Yeah, the only thing about checking Zora is we still don't have the capability of checking the ledge. So if that ledge item is good, then you potentially will have to come back later.
Ooh. DarkCucco had some problem with mini Moldorms, taking inspiration from the big Moldorm, also known as Trolldorm. Yeah, and he's being rewarded by love right now.
Yep, all of the love.
I think that's the fastest I've seen someone go from 6 hearts to 10. DarkCucco also failing the bomb jump. That's a shame. I always like to see those unique bomb jumps that are being used in randomizers.
We've also found our 3rd of 4 bottles here. And hey, there's the single arrow. Always fun to see that. And hey, look, another heart container.
More love.
More love indeed. Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah. No, and they haven't even been in 1 dungeon yet, and they're already on half of the amount of maximum health you can possibly have.
Hey, I know whenever I'm playing randomizers, I'm always picking up hearts unless I'm in the final dungeon because I am never confident in my ability to do combat. So the more hearts, the better. So I love seeing these intense 15, 16, 18 heart seeds. I love it.
Oh, absolutely. And red mill right off the bat. It's also nice.
And Tairr looks like he is going into the Dark World. So it looks like we're going to get some check on the Village of Outcasts.
Oh, Turtle Rock is the blue pendant. Swamp is the red pendant. Did you catch the green pendant?
It was
Ice Palace.
Ice Palace.
Shoutouts to DarkCucco for not knowing we're talking about it.
Absolutely. See, we're in sync here. We're in sync. Ooh, Fire Rod in the chess game.
So, Fire Rod is personally my favorite item in this game. I just love turning everything into ashes with it. What's your favorite item?
I'm actually a fan of the Ice Rod. I just love making everything frozen, just going over with a hammer and just smashing them after.
Oh, that's a good one as well.
But the good thing of note here with those pendant dungeons is the two longer ones that we have, Ice Palace, unless you know the No Major Glitches route, and Turtle Rock, tend to be two of the longer palaces here. So not needing to do either one of those is nice. And we have a Bloomerang sighting on Tairr's side.
Bloomerang Hut.
Yeah, now the two biggest things left we need to figure out are we need hammer, and we need to figure out what the medallion that we need to enter Misery Mire is going to be. Alright, so DarkCucco here is turning in the mushroom. We'll see what that's going to yield as Tairr is digging up the countryside for an item. And oh, mushroom's going to yield the butter sword, and shovel's going to yield the cape.
Nice. I do hope he dusts off that cape. It must be awfully dirty, being dug up and everything.
Yeah, but hey, that's something a quick dip in Zora's River can't take care of.
That's true. Which DarkCucco seems to be taking care of for him.
It looks like DarkCucco is heading up to Zora's domain now, so we're going to see what the Fish King is selling.
And see if there's a cool item up on the ledge. Which is a quarter of love.
Hey, this seed has been all about the love so far. We're also going to be all about that Dark World Hype Cave as Tairr is blowing himself up on the way to get into it.
Let's see what the Hype Cave brings us.
It brings the Cave of Samaria.
Off to a good start for sure. Oh, Ocarina.
Oh, wow.
Oh, flippers.
The hype is real right now. And
Easter.
My God.
4 items from the Hype Cave. That's absolutely amazing. Let's see what Zora brings us. Oh, the bow. Which we know is required.
Wow, this has been crazy. Just, Hype Cave delivering 4 items, Zora delivering the bow. This just became a very interesting race with all that. Now, with all of those items, Tairr has the option of doing Desert Palace right now because he has the Fire Rod. Of course, that all depends on whether or not the pedestal item or the bonk item in Desert is the big key. If that's the case, then we're in a little bit of an issue there, but Desert seems to be an option. DarkCucco with the bow now has opened up Eastern Palace, which it looks like he is taking a beeline for. Tairr doing the right thing, of course, and playing his flute in Thieves Town and getting the ocarina, or getting the travel duck. So everybody here in chat, it's another part of the interaction I told you about. For those of you who have Franker Face D, get those swag ducks in chat, please. I love that emote.
Sahasra back room having the shovel.
Yep, so Shovel is going to open up the Ocarina spot digging area, and Tairr is on his way now to Misery Mire after picking up the flute, and we are going to see what the entrance requirement is. He's hoping it's Ether.
Yeah, in which case you might consider doing Mire, and after that, oh, it's Ether. Wow. You might consider if you can do dark rooms to do Mire and after that desert.
I mean, if he knows how to do dark rooms, that's not a bad idea considering where he is. But it looks like he's opting to not do it.
Yeah, if you're not comfortable doing that, you might consider not taking the bet in a race for sure. Because if it goes well, it can really save you time. It can also waste a lot of time trying it.
I like this here. Cucco opting to just use the cane of Berna to walk right through the boulders. I love that.
Yeah. Now he is back for desert.
Yep, and the swamp is not required. All 3 light world dungeons are crystals, and the 3 dark worlds that are pendants are Turtle Rock, Swamp Palace, and Ice Palace. And DarkCucco using the hook shot to avoid having to go around in that room, and picks up the big key here in the Eastern Palace. All right, now seeing that boots are not going to be necessarily required because the item on top of the lamp there is just a small key.
He was thinking to himself, should I continue or not? And looks like he is going to get the key from the second part of Desert Palace.
Now, DarkCucco, as you saw there in Eastern Palace, was able to, aside from getting the arrow upgrade, did a nice little trick there in that room with the Stalfos. Basically, if you walk into a certain point and then walk to another certain point in the room, it's somewhat precise. You will be able to only spawn 2 of the Stalfos that spawn in that room, making it a whole lot easier to take care of. The Igors here giving DarkCucco a little bit of trouble.
They're actually going to Agina's cave instead. That might be a good call, because it's one of those caves you can easily forget.
Well, all of the old men here are giving all of the love in this seed.
Yeah.
All right, again, for those of you just joining us who are asking a bunch of the questions here when it comes to item locations, sword upgrades, any item that you would get in the game that's not a random drop from a prize pack, can be legitimately anywhere in the game that a treasure chest occurs or a boss can drop. So as we saw earlier on DarkCucco's side, the gold sword, level 4 sword, was the item given for returning the mushroom to the witches. So any item can be anywhere as long as it is, part of the shuffled sets. And hey, look at that! Armos Knights with the Pegasus boots, which are required because, if I remember correctly, the hammer was in the library.
Yeah. Also kind of funny, you get those from Armos.
And Cucco now opting to save and quit. Looks like he's going to be making his way towards... if I'm him, I'm making my way directly towards the library. Tairr going to be doing some swimming. He's heading towards the hobo under the bridge. And oh, the hobo has half magic. That's nice.
That's always nice. That's also one of those items which is not necessarily required, but it's always nice to get. Tairr going to Eastern first, but I don't think he has the bow yet.
He does not have the boat, which of course we know is Zora's item. And since he does have the flippers, going to Zora is, a fine option at this point, because if the ledge item is something worth it, which we know it's not, he can absolutely go and get it.
We might just check out what Sahashvara has behind him.
So far, the 2 items near Sanctuary that we need the boots for have yielded nothing spectacular. But yeah, now DarkCucco is running his way past Kakariko Village. Now we're on our way to the library, and everybody get your wrapping shoes ready because it is hammer time.
Yeah. And it seems like Tairr is on his way to get the hammer from King Zora, which we know.
Yeah, so this is an interesting scenario here, because Tairr definitely has more items that are helpful and required, but DarkCucco having the boots and the bow and the first crystal, which one of these two, in your opinion, do you think has the advantage right now, or are we still too early in the process to tell?
Also, DarkCucco has the Butter Sword, which can also be a really helpful.
Yep, Andy is 100% correct there. A lot of the times in Randomizer, especially in dungeon-based randomizers such as, Zelda 1 or Link to the Past, even Zelda 2 to an extent, is you don't want to go into a dungeon that you cannot complete unless you have no other options, really. By doing that, by going into dungeons you have the chance to complete, you limit a lot of the backtracking that you can do. Now, of course, all of this is subject to change based on the scenario, but the less dungeons you go into without being able to complete them, the better off you actually are going to be.
They're getting the mini sword because of the mirror shield. He doesn't really need it, and DarkCucco just getting the fire rod from the chest game.
So DarkCucco picking up the fire rod, and he is looks like he's making a beeline to Skull Woods here.
I mean, it's a relatively fast dungeon, and I believe, yeah, he has the items to complete it.
Yeah, he does, and with the gold sword, he is able to damage Mothula, not a problem. Tairr going to be going ahead and heading towards Eastern Palace, which we know is the best call he can make right now, because he's going to leave here with the boots, and that's going to open up the hammer, and he's going to be well on his way to getting this party started. DarkCucco going to go ahead and pick up the first key there in that chest. I'm going to go ahead and pick up this one as well. And that's just going to be the map. Map, unfortunately, not necessarily something that the runners are going to need, because if you're playing the randomizers, you're pretty sure that you know where you're going in all of these dungeons. So maps not needed. All right, so the reason that the gold sword does tempered sword damage against the moth. is because of the way the coding in the game works. Now, the gold sword does the same damage amount as the spikes do. Mothula in-game is coded to not take damage from the spikes. Ergo, Mothula cannot take damage from the golden sword. Because of the nature of how the randomizer works, it was coded into the randomizer that to allow the tempered sword to do, the gold sword to do tempered sword damage to Mothula. It's the fix that's in place right now.
DarkCucco drinking the blue potion right now, which is a pretty good call, because if he dies outside here, he has to come back here all the way from the light world, since he has not defeated Ganon.
Yeah, so that's always fun, and he did purchase another potion when he went and picked up the gold sword, so he still has another one in place, because one of the bottles they got also contained the potion. Now, the interesting thing here for DarkCucco is he does not have the Cane of Samaria like Tairr does, so he has to go ahead and push the statue, where Tairr, if he comes in here, can just play the, hey, I'm going to put a Cane of Samaria block on this.
Which is especially nice because you don't have to deal with the Wall Master.
Yes, Ceiling Masters are never fun, and Tairr getting the skip here, unfortunately the skip's only going to yield the map. So continuing here through Skull Woods as Tairr's making his way to the end of Eastern Palace. There we go. That's the name I'm looking for. Eastern Palace. Yes, Ronsu. When we refer to the dam, we are referring to the Light World part where Swamp Palace would be in the dark. Both runners now having their first crystal.
Oh, DarkCucco getting caught by the Wall Master.
Yeah, that's never fun, especially when you're later on in a dungeon getting grabbed by a Wall Master, Ceiling Master. Take your pick on what you want to call them, but it is never fun getting handed.
Absolutely not. It's probably my least favorite Zelda enemy. They're picking up the hammer now.
Yeah, I can't say that Wall Master.
Oh!
Ooh, and now the death. Skull Woods not being kind here to DarkCucco, as Skull Woods has decided to treat Cucco like an internet troll. So Tairr now putting his reading skills to good use, as he's going to again enter into the Desert Palace, which he now has the capability of finishing. Gibdo's there being nice and cooperative, giving a full magic refill, and ooh, dodging the Wall Masters yet again is DarkCucco. And so there the door is open and we get through. And hey, we have a little bunny sighting, so enjoy Bunny Link.
Now Link on his way to Mochula.
Yes, Flagrama, you can get to Hera without mirror. It just involves doing the opposite path to Death Mountain over by Turtle Rock. Mothula being Mothula here and saying, I do not want you to burn me. And remember the eyeballs thing I said? Take a look at Mothula's wings. Those are eyeballs. So there's our first of many eyeball fetishes here in Link to the Past.
Mothra being absolutely not kind to him, and he's taking a death again. This is one of those bosses, if it's not going well, it's really not going well.
Yeah, Mothula deciding that he wants to claim yet another victim. And not good for Cuckoo there, as he's going to have to make his way through the last half of Skull Woods yet again.
And he needs magic now.
Thankfully for that, there is some magic jars here in this room with the Gibdos and the Wall Masters, or Ceiling Masters as they were.
Not being generous though. Oh, saving and quitting.
Looks like he's going to opt to come back a bit later, because that looked like it was a calculated decision because he flipped back and forth, so that's very interesting. Yeah, he didn't have enough magic there to light the 4 lamps with just the fire rod, so interesting. Alright, King of Spies. What is possible for each chest in each section? Legitimately anything. As long as the game's sanity checker can allow an item to be there, as in, you already have the items in another location that require you to get, then an item can pretty much be anywhere. For example, you need the Cane of Samaria to get into Turtle Rock. So the Cane of Samaria can't be in Turtle Rock, but if the Cane of Samaria is an easy access chest, literally anything else could be there.
Yeah. For example, the Pegasus boots cannot be in the library because you need the Pegasus boots to get the item in the library.
Exactly. So that's the thing the game checks for, is it has sanity checks. And as long as the sanity checks are taken care of, then we're fine. And the Landmolas here are going to drop a heart piece and a second crystal for Tairr.
Did it drop a heart piece?
Yeah, it's just the regular heart piece, not the heart piece.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That makes sense.
So Tairr has... Oops, go ahead.
Yeah, which actually means Tairr has a lead in crystals right now.
Yep, Cucco now has the big key in Thieves Town, which is going to be helping out for that. We will explain a little bit of Thieves Town later, but we are now going to go ahead and Tairr's going to drop the hammer and head into Batman's cave, and let's see what the powder is going to get you. I went through all that time to get the powder, we're putting it to use.
I'm calling 20 retro.
Yeah, give him the Master Sword.
And the winner is... Oh, the normally red shield.
Now, the reason these shields are different colors, the same reason you'll see sword upgrades in different colors, is because the game just says, hey, you already have the final version of this, so we're just going to show you the sprite, but it's going to retain the color. So that's why the red shield is the golden color of the mirror shield in this situation.
Yep. And DarkCucco just got the lantern in Thieves Town, which while not necessarily required, it's going to be extremely helpful to navigate in the dark rooms of Palace of Darkness and Mystery Mire, assuming Turtle Rock is not required.
Right, and at this point, Turtle Rock is looking less and less required by the minute here. There are very few items that could be needed that are in Turtle Rock.
Yeah. I think I don't think it has a required item because Tairr got all the items save for the sword, and DarkCucco got the butter sword from the witch. All the required items, for that matter.
Why bother? Mirror is not actually a required item.
Yeah.
So
Because swamp is not a required dungeon. It's not a required item.
Yep. So at this point, the only thing, assuming that the Ether Medallion is the entry point for Misery Mire, the only thing left that Tairr is going to need is a sword upgrade, because the Fighter's Sword cannot harm Ganon. So at this point, that is the last thing that Tairr is going to need, because in theory, Lamp will be found here in Thieves Town, and that will allow. He probably does have the lamp. I just missed it. Brodok, Ice Rod is not going to be required because T-Rock is not required. This is a very generous seed because the 3 pendant dungeons are Turtle Rock, Swamp Palace, and Ice Rod.
Ice Palace.
Did I say Ice Rod?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, those ice rods are haunting you. Nice quake in the big chest there, though.
Yep. And again, we're going to continue the theme of random people following Link. This time it is the girl who you're supposed to save from Thieves Town. However, as I said, not everything is as it seems here in this game. And if you remember, I was talking about the obsession with eyes earlier. Well, this game likes to also poke fun at things. So there is an obsession with eyes, but this one doesn't necessarily have, a lot of eyeballs. But the girl trailing behind Link here is blind. No, that is her name. It's Blind. So Blind is one of the more interesting bosses here in the game, because Blind doesn't matter which sword you have access to. Blind takes the same amount of hits no matter what. It's just slash, 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 slash. Next cycle. So Blind's going to take 12 hits with the Butter Sword and 12 hits with the Fighter Sword that Tairr has. So that fight is going to go similarly in length no matter what.
That's an interesting theory. Again, taking Blind's eyes to make new bosses.
Yeah, the Blind fight gets more and more difficult as these heads continue to fire. So, I love the fact how, Blind just fires random laser beams as well.
DarkCucco picking up the boomerang.
All right, we're getting some hammer pegs now on DarkCucco's side. And this is one of my favorite things about Link to the Past is hammer dash, or just item dashing in general. Hammer dash is from my favorite one by all means is still the net dash.
I like the swag fire rod entry in Skullwoods. Doing a fire rod dash right before entering the second part of Skullwoods.
That's always fun. And Tairr now trying to have a little fun, dashing through the Skull Woods, but gets hit by the bumper and back into the pit. Skull Woods is being all sorts of vicious today.
Yeah. Skullwoods doesn't mess around.
Hey, Skull Woods is like, something, Turtle Rock, Ice Palace, Swamp Palace, not required. This is my time to shine, baby, and I'm going to take this time, and I'm going to show you I should be a main event dungeon.
Yeah. I can almost imagine a pile of unconscious links I guess, near Mochila. Piles of Link.
Just piles of Link everywhere.
A few fairies for good measure, I guess.
Yeah, what we're trying to say though is that set of spikes that you see. Ooh, it looks like Tairr's trying to hover here. What we're trying to say is that pile of spikes, or the spikes in the outlining of Mothula's room there, in reality, it's not actually spikes. It's just the bones of all of the other Links that Mothula has killed.
Yeah. They get sharp over time.
Tairr now opting to bomb jump after the hover did not quite work out the way he planned. But that's fine, you know, because we got our small key, we've got our fire rod, and it's all good. It's all good.
We have DarkCucco going to the Hype Cave right now.
And he's going to be very hyped.
Which we know is quite hype. Also, I believe Tairr got this third crystal, right? In a Palace of
Yes,
Darkness?
he did, in Thieves Town.
Or, yeah, sorry. Tairr also having a tough time in schools right now, having been decimated to 2 hearts left.
But with half magic, he can afford to be a little bit more, you know, free here with the fire rod, which he does use to very quickly exterminate the Gibdos and put them under wraps.
Ooh. 1 heart left. If he has a potion, he might decide to drink. Yeah, there he goes. He decides to drink it right now.
Yeah, both runners had the potion because the first bottle they were able to get there was a potion. And now we're going to go ahead and fire away down into Mothula. And let's see if Tairr has better luck than DarkCucco, who is going to take a look at the pyramid item here. And unfortunately, it is just a red rupee.
As if they need more cash at this point.
Hey, it's all about that straight cash, homie. All about that straight cash.
Alright, alright.
Seeing Tairr using fire rod strats here on Mothula, and they do work, you know, because if everyone's played Pokemon, bugs
Ice
are
Rod.
weak to fire and ice rod.
Nice. I like that. I really like that. I love those ironic item placements, if you know what I mean.
Oh, absolutely. And again, for those of you in the chat, Tairr cannot be in go mode just yet. He is still missing a sword upgrade because the fighter sword he has right now cannot defeat Ganon, cannot do any damage to Ganon. So until he gets a sword upgrade, he is not in go mode. And DarkCucco, on the other hand, has paid Kiki the Monkey, and we're going to get to see some Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, and I do believe DarkCucco is actually in go mode right now.
Based on what I'm seeing, I believe that Meyer's entrance was Ether, so if that is the case, Cucco is in fact in go mode. So interestingly enough, we saw in the menu earlier, Tairr did not open up every chest in Thieves Town, which means Quake is not a thing, and neither, more importantly, is the lamp. So we might be seeing some dark navigations here, specifically through POD, Palace of Darkness, and Misery Mire. So that is a very, very interesting concept to have to see, or not see, as it were, in our case. And Catfish gonna trade in a piece of rock for explosives.
They're avoiding those explosives, thinking they might explode.
Hey, never trust a catfish who's willing to throw something at you.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. I believe the mushroom was in the dam.
Mushroom was the dam. Yep. Tairr gonna go pick up a fairy here, and it looks like Tairr is opting to check out the pyramid item as well, which again we know is just more money.
Ooh, DarkCucco finding the boss key in a really interesting place, or the key.
And I do just want to remind everybody here that this is the first of many races we have for you on the Link to the Past Randomizer here on Speed Gaming today. We've got another race following us at 2 p.m., followed by a 4:30 p.m., 7 p.m., and 9 p.m. start. All of those times I've given you are in Eastern Time, of course. So if you are not in Eastern Time, you can go ahead and figure out how to convert those properly to your own time zone, because there's way too many time zones for me to convert to.
It's almost like every place has its own time zone.
Yeah, something like that.
Interestingly enough, DarkCucco never checked Meyer, so he does not know that he's actually in go mode right now.
Yeah, because he has the lamp, which as you can see here, this room would not be visible if we didn't have the lamp here in House of Darkness. And we've got all kinds of fun things happening because I didn't realize where Tairr was. We're about to see all of the dark. Alright, Cardinal 144, the HUD you see on the screen has been specially designed for the restreaming here of this tournament. You will find other HUDs available online. I'm not sure actually where they are, but this specific set of trackers is a program developed for everything here. The trackers that you will find to track your own stuff actually have a little bit more detail in them. So you can figure out which dungeons have crystals and all that. But the ones here, this is again. Yes. Now again, I want to point out one thing. Just because we say somebody is in go mode doesn't necessarily mean they are in go mode. We say they're in go mode because we know all the information. The thing that is holding back right now, DarkCucco, is silver arrows could be a possible needed item. Because you can kill Ganon serverless, it's just a little bit of a pain. I'm not sure if DarkCucco knows the strat for serverless Ganon, but that is definitely an item that you're looking to find. And hey, we've got the magical boomerang there from DarkCucco. Yeah, so right now the advantage that DarkCucco has is the lantern. That's going to allow DarkCucco to navigate through both Palace of Darkness here, as you saw, and Misery Mire without needing to blindly fumble around. Tairr, on the other hand, never picked up the lantern from Thieves Town, so we are going to see some dark navigating. Case in point, here you are. Now, the one thing I do want to point out for Tairr here is there are certain things that will show up in the dark, as the dust from the Pegasus boots is one of them. And because he has the Cane of Birna, The swirling spiral of stars that surround you when you use the Cane of Birna will also be visible in the dark. So that is something that Tairr could use to potentially use for navigational purposes. Alright, for those wondering when we keep referring to Dam, Dam is the light world equivalent location of the Swamp Palace where you have to drain the water. Normally it contains a heart piece.
This time, the shrooms were overflowing it.
Right, it is now time for the Helmasaur fight. We're going to go ahead and use the hammer. Although I have seen bombs used for this strat to break the helmet as well. Something I hadn't seen until this tournament. I even, growing up, never knew you could use bombs to break the Helmasaur's, helmet.
You can. In fact, I believe it does about 6 hits of damage, correct me if I'm wrong, to the helmet. It's actually quite strong, but it takes a long time to wait for the bomb to explode.
But we have a couple of swipes there of the golden sword, and Helmasaur is going to be down, and Helmasaur is dropping exactly what we need: more money.
The lamp was in Thief's Town.
Tairr there navigating in the dark again, as you can see, swinging the hammer to potentially get some, and finding the torch. So now we have some lights here in the turtle room, and beautiful hammer placement there, getting all the turtles over. The second hammer doesn't necessarily help out, but that was beautiful hammer placement, and helping us out here by giving us the torchlight so we can see him destroy the turtles. And
Tairr now fighting Helmasaur King. Ooh, DarkCucco activating Ocarina now. Which I believe we have an FFC emote for.
Oh, absolutely. Gotta love that swag duck, baby.
Absolutely. Get your swag ducks in everyone. Ooh, Tairr going with arrow strats, and Helmasaur King not really feeling it.
Interesting thing about Helmasaur is Silver Arrow will kill Helmasaur King in one shot.
I mean, you were talking about this game's eyeball fetish. Would you consider the giant green thing like a third eye?
Yeah, just to complete the meme, I think we can do that.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
That's awfully odd.
yeah. Unfortunately, though, with Ice Palace and Swamp Palace both not being required, we're not going to get to see two of the three eyeballs. We're not going to get to see Argus or Cold Stare. We will see Vitreous, though, which we're about to see coming up here in Misery Mire.
Which is a collection of eyeballs, so...
It's eyeballs floating in last year's Christmas jello.
I was thinking about, like, pickled eyeballs or something.
Ooh, that's disgustingly evil. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine them thinking, we run out of boss ideas. Why not just make like a bottle of eyeballs with a big one?
Alright, so Tairr going ahead and doing all the bonk locations next to Sanctuary. We know that they're not going to be too much reward here, just a heart container and bombs. But hey, more hearts is never a bad thing.
Absolutely not. Got to get that love in this game.
Also, for those of you watching here on Speed Gaming, do want to point out there that we do have a bunch of upcoming tournaments you can sign up for. Nightbot has graciously posted links to all of those in the chat. So if you are interested in any of the tournaments that we are being hosted here on Speak Gaming that still have sign-ups, please click the link of your desired choice, and we hope to see you playing.
And the real question is, are we getting a bird toss right now? I don't think we're going to. Oh, yeah, he's going for it. We're having a bird toss.
Always fun to see the bird toss happen.
Yeah. Right. This is everything we came for. Thank you. Nah, just kidding.
We've got bird toss. We've had swag duck. I mean, there's not a whole lot more I can ask for.
A good hype cave.
An insane hype cave.
Yeah. This is the seed, everyone.
That indeed. Now, again, the only thing that Tairr is been going through the dungeons like he's in go mode, which is fine, except for the fact of that issue of fighter's sword.
Yeah. And because Swamp Palace is not acquired, I doubt he will go back to pick up the mushroom.
DarkCucco having a little bit of trouble here with lighting the lamps. The 4 tiles getting in the way, but we do manage to take care of that just fine. And hey, there's the boss key.
Nice. It does seem like the boss key is usually in either that chest or the place where it's usually at.
Because, as we all know, even though the randomizer is being kind to you with items, it's always going to troll you in some fashion.
There's always that one item which will take really long to get. Or you might miss by accident.
Yep. Now, I do want to point out real quick to everybody that I can pretty much guarantee, and by pretty much guarantee, I mean, yeah, it's probably going to happen. The last dungeon that they're going to do, more than likely, is going to be Tower of Hera, just because of its proximity to Ganon's Tower. In fact, it's the exact same location, just in 2 different areas. So Tower of Hera will be done, then they'll go back to, Dark World and do all that, and then make your way to Ganon's Tower. That's more than likely the chain of events that's going to happen here.
Yeah. And since they're pretty much in go mode, even though Tairr still needs a sword upgrade, means that they don't have to check out Hera's basement or any of the chests, so this is essentially a really short dungeon.
Now, what's going to be interesting for Tairr is to see how he opts to fight Vitreous here without a sword upgrade, because I always find it very interesting to see that. And hey, look, more rupees.
This seed is just throwing cash at them at this point.
Also, do want to point out that Tairr was going to have to be careful, but Powder's the anti-fairy and getting all the hearts back. But now Tairr getting the map, because map.
Yeah. I mean, it's a confusing dungeon, right? Sometimes.
Oh yeah, Misery Mire is your one of the 2 mazy kind of dungeons. Swamp Palace is big, but it's pretty linear. You have to go back and forth, back and forth. Ice Palace could be pretty mazy with having to go back and forth and do the 2 loops if you don't know the no major glitches route. Misery Mire is also very maze-like feeling. And hey, look, it's eyeballs in soup.
Yeah. Get 20 eyeballs for the price of 1. DarkCucco taking care of Vitrius, which gives him 4 crystals, and if he's smart, he should do Desert right now, because I believe he has not done Desert, Skullwoods, and Hera yet, or at least finished them.
That would be correct for Cucco. It's Desert, Skull Woods, and Hera that he needs to finish. Yep. DarkCucco has no timer because he forgot to start it.
Yep. And he is indeed going to Desert Battles right now. Showing his formidable reading skills / singing, kinda.
So now DarkCucco making his way into the Desert Palace, as we have got a black screen, a nice little anti-fairy showing up here over on Tairr's side. But hey, we were able to blow something up. And we're going to use our...
Ooh! Oh no. Tairr taking a death in the dark part of Misery Mire. That's really unfortunate. Like, no one likes to take a death in this game, but if I have to name like one part where it will be really unfortunate, it will either be at the top of Gan's Tower or in Misery Mire. Oh, and again, this dungeon really is being awful to Tairr right now.
So yeah, Misery Mire, especially that late in the mire, one of the worst places to die because, hey, look, we're back at the very beginning. We have to do it all again. This is one of those times when, you know, even though the bug catching net is extremely innocuous, you wish you had it.
Absolutely. Especially because Tairr does not have the lantern, which means it's even worse than normal. They're making a good decision, taking care of the yellow thing, bunny, well, whatever it's called.
I just call them I call them bunny fairies.
I should remember that.
Well, they're anti-fairies that turn you into bunnies. Ergo, bunny fairies.
That's true.
So Landmolas, at this point in the game with the Golden Sword, Landmolas are going to be pretty easy to dispatch. And as you can see, there it is. So that is going to be crystal number 5 for DarkCucco.
Which means they're back tied in crystals right now. So if you have to pick one of those two, you think is in the lead right now? Because I think both of them are really close to each other. Who would you say is in the lead right now?
By the factor of DarkCucco having the lamp, I give the advantage, and more importantly, the golden sword. I give the advantage to DarkCucco here, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm bound to agree. Oh, they're going with bomb strats for Vitreous. That's interesting. I've never seen that before.
Hey, you know, whatever works. It's the thing with Vitreous is you have all these eyeballs in a concentrated area, so it's going to get a lot of them. It's not a bad strategy, especially when you're sitting here on Fighter Sword.
I agree. And with the arrows to finish them off, it's also a pretty good call.
Yeah, this is a very interesting fight, especially as we said, considering we are on Fighter Sword strats. So,
He needs to watch it.
Needs to very much watch it here. Does he have anything to heal with, or did he use all of his potions? Looks like he's up to break out the cape here, which is a good call.
Absolutely. But he doesn't realize he needs to spin. Then the dashing doesn't work. DarkCucco, meanwhile, going back to Skull Woods to pick up his 6th crystal and the ice rod for that matter. Oh, no.
Ooh, gets eyeballed. Oh, wow.
This is looking really bad right now.
That's really, really bad. My thought question here is, would the hammer be an appropriate option to kill them? Hammer, fire rod, using things like that. I've never tried it on Vitreous, so I couldn't tell you. But it looks like we have a save and quit, and now I'm not quite sure where Tairr is going. It looks like he's going to Hera.
Yeah. Wait. Or isn't he? He might check out Turtle Rock to see if the lantern is there. Or a different kind of sword, perhaps.
Hey, all he needs at this point is a different kind of sword, and I'm a huge fan of when games do interesting things for to mess with people that we haven't seen before, and giving all of these early items and just the way Tairr's routing worked out, that a sword is the item that's trolling him right now, is very, very interesting indeed. I also love the fact that this is a mirrorless sea.
Yeah. I mean, considering DarkCucco probably going to do Hera after this, there's actually a reasonable chance that he won't actually pick up Mirror at all.
Yep, and DarkCucco opting to go ahead and drink the blue potion. Let's see if Mothula round 3 is any better than Mothula's round 1 and 2. And we have the Fire Rod draining all of the magic here, and the spikes being spikes. Oh, wow.
He got it. And he gets the Ice Rod for his effort.
Yeah, that's a very difficult fight here.
Absolutely. Like I mentioned before, if Moth is really trolling you, he is. There's no middle ground.
Yeah, no, Mothula is just, if Mothula decides to, that I'm going to troll you, Mothula's going to troll you, and there's not a darn thing you can do about it. Cucco now is going to be making his way up to Tower of Hera, so we're going to see another one of those mythical high fives from both of our runners. And after that, Cucco is going to be on his way to Ganon's Tower. Tairr, on the other hand, still has to go back and finish Misery Mire. And oh yeah, there's that whole sword issue.
Yeah, and for all we know, DarkCucco does not know how to do Silverless Ganon, and he actually needs to find the silver arrows. And it will be interesting to see how he reacts to it, because he has no idea where Tairr is at this point.
I mean, Cucco has to be thinking that, Tairr is also right at the same spot he is because the mushroom was in, a spot most people are going to check pretty consistently pretty early on. And, mushroom is going to lead again to the gold sword. So Cucco has to be thinking that Tairr has all the items that he has.
Absolutely. And with Tairr not having to do Swamp Palace, he might just forget about the swamp altogether.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, when he was going down there, Tairr specifically avoided going to the dam because he stuck to the right-hand side pretty well and didn't even bother taking a look at the dam. So it's very interesting. It looks like we're going to head back to Meyer now. This is an interesting gambit here for Tairr. I mean, if I'm Tairr, I would have stopped by the witch's hut real quick and picked up some potion just to be safe.
Absolutely. I mean, you have the money. It's one warp.
Yeah, and
it really saves you a lot of time.
Yeah, and it's faster to pick up the potion than it is to die again.
Absolutely.
The one good thing for Tairr is, unlike in Zelda 1, where Wizrobes are a pain and they're either 4 or 9 hit points respectively, so having the level 1 sword in Zelda 1 against Wizrobes is a pain. Having level 1 sword in Zelda 3 against Wizrobes, not so much, because they'll take one swipe no matter what. So at least Wizrobes in this game, slightly easier to kill.
Yeah, they're pretty much glass cannons. Can be annoying if they group up on you, but one swipe and they're gone.
Alright, Cucco opting to break out his magical cape because why not? And 2 hits will get the googly-eyed, yes I said eyed, Moldorm out of the way, and that's going to be the 7th and final crystal here for Cucco. And once we get back to Dark World, it's all about that Ganon's Tower, yo.
Yeah.
The unfortunate case here is because of the nature of the beast, we don't have mirrors, so we just can't jump down and do it again. We have to go all the way back to Turtle Rock and then take the long path back to Ganon's Tower. But Cucco is going to do that. And at this point, he does have a decided lead over Tairr. Again, the biggest factor here, again, is in that golden sword. So again, if you remember earlier, I did mention that this was going to be an interactive stream, and now we're going to have the second of our interactive chat things here. There are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower before you have to go down to where the big key section is, or 22 items. So everybody, please get your guesses in now for which chest or item number, because the bonk item does count, that the big key is going to be in. Now we count them in the order that the players open them, so go ahead and get that guess in now. Me personally, I want to see it in chest number 16. I always want to see it in chest number 16, just because I can.
You know what? I'm just going to say the first chest.
The way this seed has been going, it's not a bad idea. And hey, we have Tairr putting that cape to good use. Gonna drink some green potion now. I'm gonna go round 2. So we did have some potion. So putting the cape to good use here, I like. And the other thing with this here is Vitreous, the giant eyeball itself, is vulnerable to arrows. So Tairr can just go ahead and use the arrows, not a problem, to kill giant eyeball.
Now he should have this fight.
Yep, and
Bug item is rupee.
Yep, so that's interesting. No need to bonk, not a problem. We still count that as an item, though. So
well,
now,
guess I lose.
So now the interesting thing becomes, both of our runners are at 7 crystals. Oh my god, if Tairr goes to Ganon's Tower, he's fine. There's a sword upgrade in Ganon's Tower. Are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me right now? Wow.
Now, the thing is, it shows for DarkCucco as the other sword because he has them. I wonder which one of the two will be, the Tempered or the Master Sword.
But again, that's assuming that Tairr opts to check out.
Yeah. And for all we know, he goes to the right straight away and he finds the big key there.
Yeah, but it looks like he's heading to Dark World. I don't know what he's doing right now.
Maybe he remembered he forgot about a couple of chests in Thieves Town.
Yeah, but that's all that's gonna do is give him the lamp. He's gonna kick himself for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has turned into a race. I mean, if Tairr took the gamble, which I don't necessarily disagree with not taking the gamble here, but had Tairr taken the gamble, we would have had ourselves a race. The big thing is going to be, of course, can these runners do silverless? And Tairr's like, God,
yeah. You can see in that pause, he's absolutely kicking himself right now.
Now, the interesting thing here is Ganon. Oh, hey, look! Ganon's also taking Sanctuary Heart. Yep. As I was saying, the interesting thing here is going to be that once you reach the final phase of Ganon, he will tell you where silver arrows are. So, Cucco might just be going there to get the hint on where silvers are and going back to find them. If so, we have a definite race on our hands because it looks as if Tairr is now making his way over and he's going to take the gamble.
Yeah. And if he can do silverless Ganon, he will definitely have an edge if DarkCucco can't or does not find the silver arrows.
Wow, this has turned into a very, very interesting race, all things considered. Because, you know, again, Tairr going at hour 30 with Fighter Sword, that's just crazy.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that? Fire Sword in Gan's Tower?
Yeah, I have not. But then again, my expertise is more in Zelda 1, not Zelda 3. I know enough in Zelda 3 to get myself in trouble, as clearly obvious by me doing, you know, commentary. I definitely know enough to get myself in trouble.
My expertise with Zelda 1 on that matter is I finished it once.
Hey, once is better than none.
Yeah.
So we got Compass, Red Rupee, and another heart container. So wow. Wowity wow wow wow.
And because he does not have the mirror, he actually is going to walk to the start.
This is going to be interesting to see what happens with Tairr. Tairr's going to opt to go right first. And if Big Key is one of these first two chests, then
he will possibly miss sword.
Okay, nope, not in the first two chests, though. We know at this point that Big Key is buried on right side, but this is the best thing that could have happened to Tairr because now he's going to get that sword upgrade.
Yep.
Looks like Cucco opting to go ahead and do the tile room, which is going to go ahead and yield a chest. But now
also a lot of them back. If you
Now we
want
can
to
go ahead
the
and
sword.
figure out which sword that was. It was the Tempered Sword. Wow. Somebody about a half hour ago called, and I quote, Tempered Sword in Ganon's Tower would be the ultimate troll for Tairr. So I don't remember who you were, but shout outs to you, good person, because that was an amazing call.
I absolutely agree. And this is turning out to be a really close race right now.
Yeah, the Tempered Sword being here turned this from a, oh, there's not a chance to, oh, this is kind of awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Tairr using the trying to use the fancy boomerang hookshot trick here to get himself there, and yep, does manage to do it just fine. Yeah, this is coming down to whether or not either of these runners can do Silverless Ganon, or if they want to do Silverless Ganon, or if the hunt for silvers is going to be real. And there is the big key. We finally have it buried deep on the east side of Ganon's Tower. And we're going to get some Sanctuary Heart action from Tairr, some more keys, some bomb upgrades, and oh yeah, another heart piece. And hey, look, we're at what, 15 hearts now?
This room really not. At this point, he might consider taking the death ward, actually.
Yeah, the interesting thing for Cucco here is he does not have half magic. And without half magic, that makes Silverless Ganon very, very difficult because of the amount of hits that's required to do to him. And if he doesn't have potions either, then it makes Silverless even all that much more treacherous. So I would be, again, doing the whole commentator's curse thing. I'm willing to say that Cucco is probably just going to do all this, get the hint for silvers, and then...
I do believe he picks up a green poison, which is left unused.
And the bumper spider here just being all sorts of mean to Cucco here. Just like, no, no, no. And hey, oh, wait, they don't work with arrows. But there we go. Does manage to get the bonk in just fine. And now takes the teleportal path. Tairr having to do the same backtracking again because this is a mirrorless seed. You don't get to see that too often in here. It's like seeing a seed in Zelda 1 randomizer that doesn't require the ladder. They're rare, but when they happen, it's kind of awesome.
Yeah. It means we get to see areas we haven't seen forever. Like half of east side Ganon's Tower. It's almost new content for me at this point.
Silvers and Pedestal could be great, by the way. That would be awesome. Actually, Silvers in Moldorm chest would also be great, but the big chest containing a heart container, and that's not a chest you usually see opened here in the randomizer, is the big chest in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah. DarkCucco wanting that magic, and I can see why. Might want to... No. I was thinking he might want to consider getting one of those anti-fairies, turning it into a regular fairy.
The good thing about fighting the mimics here for DarkCucco is he has the mirror shield, so they're pretty easy to take care of.
True.
Oh,
yes, a blue poison.
You know, I don't disagree with that because dying in Ganon's Tower is bad news, so...
Yeah. Absolutely not the wrong call. This way you can continue.
It's absolutely the right call here. Especially because, you know, if he's going through the Ganon fight just to get the hint for silvers, then it doesn't matter the amount of magic he has. And Tairr gonna go ahead and find the big key here as well. And hey, I've got keys now. Sorry. Not sorry. Looks like Cucco going into the safety fairy room here just to get full healed. Doesn't have the bug catching net obviously to capture them, but is going to go ahead and get the full life heal anyway because it's here. Why not?
Yeah, it's one of the great lost opportunities to heal yourself. Another being a bunny fairy.
Tairr opting to take the normal path into this teleportal path and it runs off the edge anyway.
That room just doesn't like anyone, I feel. Especially today.
Oops, I just ran off the edge. Tairr also going to go ahead and check the big chest and again get a heart piece. Tairr just going to death warp himself, which, you know, at this point, not a bad call. Not a bad call. I like the option here of picking up the big chest just to see if the silvers were in it and then hitting the death warp button. Good call there. I can't disagree with it.
And you get a couple of hearts extra to start out with, so
yeah,
also really nice. Especially with the green mail.
Yeah, again, the death warp there saved more than one room. It also gave a partial heart refill as well. So that's, you know, it's one of those things that you'll see a lot of in randomizers is using the ability to up a, save, quit, death warp, things of that nature to, if nothing else, get a refill on hearts.
DarkCucco getting past Lemolas and now working his way up to Ganon 2.
Wizrobes on conveyor belts. Because that's fun.
I wonder who came up with that idea.
I don't know, but from the purely commentary perspective, I love it.
Playing it, not so much.
There's a reason 90% of the time I stick to the commentary booth. Because I can't do anything stupid in the commentary booth. Well, I can, but nothing on camera.
Well, you're still being recorded.
Yeah, but that's just audio.
Yeah.
To go up and you take these two chests, and I don't disagree with this call at all, because, you know, hey, there might be silvers. There's not, but there might be.
He is actually a key short right now, so if this next chest does not have a key, he has to go back to kill the tiny Helmosaurus.
It looks like he's gonna have to go back and kill the Helmosaurus.
Yeah.
Oop, oop, oop. But he just realized that, oh, I don't have a key. And every little hiccup like that is going to allow Tairr to catch up. And because of that, this is turning into a race.
You know, what might be funny if the final chest here is actually the mirror.
I kind of want that now.
Yeah, that would be awesome. It would feel really trolly.
Nope, just 5 arrows.
Yeah. The dreams will be dreams.
But hey, you know, it's at least we had the thought of it being there. We had that hope, that glimmer of hope for one shining second. No.
Yeah. We all know it was actually going to be something like that.
The game wasn't going to be that nice to us. You know, silver arrows at the Master Sword pedestal would be actually kind of hilarious.
That's what put the person who can't do silverless at a massive disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see where that silver hint is going to take us.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's going to tell us, you know, not exactly where they are, but the general vicinity. And a pretty good Aghanim 2 fight here from DarkCucco. And this might be our last chance to see Swag Duck. So everybody, one last time for Swag Duck, please. Let's hear it. Oh,
Save and quit.
Interesting. No. I know what he's doing here. He has the posse. He's probably opting to go get some potions first.
Yeah, which might be a good call.
Yeah, that's definitely the right call there, especially considering if he's going for potions, that means he's potentially doing silverless.
Yeah, he's at least going to try it. But one thing, he will have to warp back. And since they didn't beat Aghanim 1, means that the portal at Hyrule Castle is not active.
Yep, so, this is all kinds of fun now.
Yeah, and I do believe he realizes that. Yeah, and Tairr, what is he going to do?
You gotta drop down the hole.
He's going for it.
All right, we have got a very interesting concept here. Now, for those of you who have never seen the Silverless kill, basically what it involves is in the final phase of Ganon, as he is teleporting away, he is vulnerable to sword slashes for just a moment. And if you can do a spinning attack as he's teleporting away, you'll see him get affected. It's going to take a lot of hits to do so, but you can kill Ganon without the silver arrows.
So, he will soon reveal where the silver arrows are. What are your guesses, chat? What do you guys think of it?
Me personally, I want Master Sword pedestal, but that's just me.
I'm going for Ice Palace.
Ooh, Ice Palace is also a good one. So is Turtle Rock.
Yeah. And not like first chest, but like deep in Ice Palace.
Yeah. Like big chest in Ice Palace. Arrows are in the Dark World. So that tells us it's in the overworld in the Dark World. Looks like we're going to go for... we do get the torch glitch. So yeah, Tairr's going silverless, and DarkCucco unfortunately dies. So Dark World, it tells us that the silver arrows are in the overworld somewhere in the Dark World. I'm trying to think of the chests of the Dark World locations that we missed.
Spike Cave.
Spike Cave, yeah. Oh, Burna Cave, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. It might just be there.
Mimic Cave is also an option, yeah?
Yeah. Mimic Cave would be a disaster.
That technically fits our category of deep in Turtle Rock.
That's true.
Although Mimic Cave, yeah, no, that's right. Mimic Cave is Light World.
DarkCucco taking another death. That's a shame.
Oh, that is very much a shame.
And if Tairr can stick in here, this should be his race. Commentator's curse, trademark.
Yup.
And he
There
got
he
it.
is. He got the spriteless kill because he got Ganon as he was poofing. So nice little swag thing there with the spriteless kill from Tairr. My word, what a finish here, Tairr, going for the first hour and a half with just the fighter sword, finding the tempered sword he needed to kill Ganon in Ganon's tower, no less. Wow, wow, wow.
And at the end, it all came down to Ganon.
And I also like to point out Tairr opting to use the two bees that were located in bottles to just have a little fun there, a little bee swag strats. But the hype is not done yet because we still have got more Ganon to take care of here, as DarkCucco is now also trying to go for the Silverless strats, but Ganon not having any of that as he is just running solidly into DarkCucco, bodying him severely.
Yeah, this is something that's really difficult. I can't do it myself personally. And oh, he got a hit. That's nice. And because he has the butter sword, it means it takes less hits than the tempered sword actually.
Yeah, but hey, you can definitely tell because Ganon will light up just as he teleports. So it's a little harder to see than you might think it would be. But oh no, we fell! No!
Oh, that's such a shame. Ganon really being not nice at all to DarkCucco.
No. No, hammer pegs were 20 rupees.
I'm getting told that butter sword does not actually decrease the hits again. Boy defense again. I always like these randomizer little inside jokes at the credit screen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And while we are watching DarkCucco again go after Ganon, do me a favor, everybody, and get your guess in for number of bonks on Tairr's side. Again, we still have chat interaction, so we want the number of bonks.
You know, I'm going for a solid 40. Because of all the dark navigation.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I was going to go right along the lines of like 45, so. Alright, so Cucco has used another potion here. Going to be waiting to go ahead and get the torch glitch here. Hopefully, fight round 3 here versus Ganon goes a little bit better than rounds 1 and 2. Yes, Milena, bonks. Bonks are the sound that you make when you run into a wall with the Pegasus boots. Oh no, doesn't get the torch glitch.
Oh, this will make Silverless Ganon really tough.
Unfortunately for us, Master Sword was just another couch cash.
Ah.
Yeah, this doing Silverless Ganon without getting the torch glitch, that's a real pain.
Absolutely.
I mean, I would have almost considered falling down the ledge and not
I was just
bothering
thinking
with
the
it.
same thing. I was just thinking the same thing, honestly.
All right, so the torch glitch. Basically, it's pretty simple. The left-hand torch is always going to be the one that goes out first. If you can manage to light it before the right-hand torch goes out, the only torch you will ever have to light is the left-hand one, ergo the torch glitch. Nothing fancy about it, just spam your button and hope you get it. Yeah, again, I do want to say massive, massive shout outs to Tairr for being able to do that entire thing with the fighter sword. And DarkCucco realizing, I'm out of juice, like literally having no more potions. So if he doesn't kill Ganon before he runs out of magic power, he's going to have to either die or opt to fall down because there's going to be no way he can do it.
Using the hookshot to get there a little bit faster. Oh, and it already goes back to being off.
And this is going to be the last chance here.
Yep. Let's hope it's enough.
It's going to have to be. Nope, not going to do it.
Oh, this is such a shame.
Yep, so that is going to be having to fall down and...
Saving
And here's the worst part. Here's the worst part. Cucco doesn't have any money. So Cucco can't even buy a potion. I love the fact that level 1 sword boxes is 7 out of 13 for Tairr. That's just glorious. Number of bonks was 32. I know somebody said 32 in the chat. I did see that. So bonus points to whoever said 32. And yet, DarkCucco going to do the rupee farming here because it's always guaranteed for that second chest here once you get the item to hold 100 rupees. So we're going to see a lot of rupee farming.
Which means he gets at least 70 rupees each time. There, welcome.
Hello.
Congratulations. Congratulations on the victory, first of all. And amazing job going through all that with just a fighter sword.
How can I forget to check the freaking dam? Fighter sword works too.
Yeah.
My question isn't necessarily along the dam, but more along the lines of you skipped a couple of chests in Thieves Town, and one of them was the lantern. What was going through your head when you went back to Thieves Town before Ganon's Tower and opened up the lantern?
Well, I have a lantern now. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. So you are in fact comfortable going through Palace Darkness, Misery Mire, both doing them in the dark without the lantern then?
Yes.
It did look really awesome seeing you do that. Absolutely.
So I guess the next question I have here is when you open up your menu and you see that effectively the 3 longest dungeons in the game, Swamp, Ice, and Turtle Rock, are all pendant dungeons. Does that adjust how you route it all, or do you still do things in the same way?
I basically do the same things. And, it doesn't matter for me what is. I always do the same route if I can.
Yeah. And one of the interesting parts of the seed is it was actually a seed where the mirror was not required, and nobody of you actually found the mirror.
It's good that I just talked about with other people yesterday about a mirrorless run.
Well, I'm going to say it's rigged.
You saw me looking at my map for some seconds, and I was thinking about, I don't need a mirror.
DarkCucco, meanwhile, doing his 4th attempt at Ganon. Let's hope it'll go better now. Because the 2nd time around he was really close to beating it. Unfortunately, he fell.
Yeah, and then he ran out of potions when he was also pretty close and had to purposely fall down so he can go and farm. But we do definitely want to see the silverless kill here. If for nothing else, then that's to just stick it to Ganon.
Absolutely.
Tairr, if we can go back to the beginning of this seed for a second, fairly early on there was early Hookshot, early Titan's Mitt, and early Moon Pearl. When you see a bunch of items like that, does that get you excited for the ability or the capability of exploring Dark World a little earlier than you normally would? Or you said you stick to your normal routing as it is, but is early Dark World something you would consider when given the capability of doing so?
Yes.
DarkCucco. DarkCucco unfortunately getting the torch glitch this time, which means Silver's Ganon will be a bit easier and better to manage.
He also has a bunch more potions, which is also going to make it a little easier to manage as well.
Absolutely. And I feel like this is the time he will defeat Ganon.
Definitely is feeling like that with all of the potions. Although at this point, if I'm Cucco, I'm probably potioning right now because Ganon bodying you, or doing what we in the Zelda 1 community like refer to as the high roll driver, will deal 6 hearts of damage. Yeah, he's going back and forth like, wait, I got 4 hearts. This is not a good thing.
And I would say that's a really good call as well. I mean, losing again would be really frustrating, I can imagine.
You know, falling to Ganon once is frustrating. Falling to Ganon twice is a pain. Falling to Ganon twice and dying, at this point there's controllers being thrown in my house.
Yeah, it gets real disheartening real fast.
I would like to point. There we go.
You got it.
Beautiful silver kill from silverless kill there from DarkCucco. Just took a couple of potions. That was, a very, very good silverless kill there on you. Unfortunately for Cucco on the 4th try, but it's still a phenomenal kill.
Yeah. And once again, this has been a fantastic race, being really close till the end. With both of the runners getting to Ganon at approximately the same time.
Yeah, no, a phenomenal seed. Extremely interesting seed, as we mentioned, with DarkCucco having the gold sword for basically the entire thing, and again, Tairr doing an hour and 30 minutes on Fighter's Sword. That makes for some very, very interesting, routing decisions and options here. Cucco now is going to be on our way to the credits screen. So again, everybody, go ahead and get your guesses in for the bonk count on DarkCucco's side.
Now, with the next race being close, do we have time to fill DarkCucco in real quick for some post-match commentary?
Looks like we got a little bit of time here. I'm not being told we have to transition to the next match just yet.
All right. Welcome, DarkCucco.
Hey. What a seat.
Yeah, it has been an amazing race to watch, I will tell you that.
Do we know where Mirror was?
We have no
absolutely
idea.
No idea. For all we know, it's lost somewhere deep into the rock.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm glad that is over.
And you, up till again, you were absolutely killing it, man. You were doing. It was a fantastic race. It was really close, and
Thanks.
you should be really happy with your performance all over.
Oh, I am. I think that was the hardest seat I have played so far. And then in the end, Silverless Ganon with green mail and normal magic.
Yeah. Tairr, in fact, did pick up half magic. Any idea where it might have been?
It might have been in the Pendant Dungeon or in Spiral Cave.
Bridge Hobo.
Yeah.
Oh, Bridge Hobo. Yeah, I ignored him because as I had flippers, I could do so many other stuff.
That's true.
All right, but it looks like our second commentary team for the 2 p.m. Eastern Time race is getting themselves set up in the booth. So with that, Tairr and Cucco, do either of you have anything else you would like to say before we transition on to the next race?
Thanks for having me here in the tournament. It's a lot of fun, and I learned a lot of things during the first 3 races.
Tairr, do you have anything to add to that?
No.
Alright. Thanks for this amazing race.
Absolutely, and everybody in chat, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you click the links that Nightbot has just posted and give both these guys a follow, especially for the effort they just showed you in this amazing seed. And with that, coming up next right here on Speed Gaming, we are going to have Mysticum versus In the Name of DT. That's going to be starting here in a couple of minutes, and we're going to be transitioning you over to Mythical 9 and Andy, as far as I know, for commentary. So you guys are in for an absolute treat there. So with that, on behalf of...
agree.
Oh, go ahead.
I absolutely agree with you. They're some of the amazing, one of the most amazing commentators I've ever heard.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, if you haven't done so already, make sure you give both of our runners a follow. And on behalf of both of our runners, and our tech guy behind the scenes, Fiesel, who's got his 5 monitors and 17 bottles of water, I have been the Greenleaf Effect with Light Blue Cloud. And with that, we're going to transition you over to Mythical 9 and Andy. Take it away, guys.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey.
How are you all doing this fine afternoon?
I'm doing, I'm very sleepy actually, but otherwise,
Same.
I'm doing pretty good.
The last race was definitely an interesting one. Hopefully this next one coming up will be just as exciting.
Yeah, I only caught the end of it, but I just looking at the trackers, I'm seeing no mirror even after the game is complete. And I definitely saw both runners in the Ganon fight at the same time. You can't ask for much more than that.
Tairr actually didn't get an upgraded sword until in Ganon's tower. It's led to some interesting things, to say the least. But
So up next, we are going to be having In the Name of DT versus Mysticum. And this is an important match for Mysticum. In this group, DT already has 2 wins. Second place is looking like it's going to be Karkat, who has 1 win. His 1 win is over Mysticum. So Mysticum needs every win he can get, especially a win over DT, if he wants a chance of making it out of this group.
Appropriately, Mysticum's file names are I Need Luck. Sometimes a little luck goes a long way in a randomizer.
Seems DT was also watching the last race.
Okay. I want to jump in the SRL channel. That's what I want to do. That's not the one I want.
PRLM
Too
0.
early. Too early for this.
It's fine.
The only race going on right now. Holy moly. All right. We're in there.
Randomizer is so popular. It's the only thing they're playing on Speedruns Live. Number of different seeds. Yeah, it's probably some astronomical number. The kind of thing where if everyone on the planet was playing randomizers, 24/7, you wouldn't run out before the heat death of the universe kind of situation. The runners are almost ready. That's right, even though I'm in the commentary booth, every time I learn a little something new.
We'll actually be legitimately continuing the Let's Learn Randomizer tomorrow afternoon.
That's right.
At 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So
26 and a half hours from now.
Exactly. So if you're into that kind of thing, we'll be back here tomorrow.
That kind of thing. Whatever that is. I think the players are ready. Mysticum is requesting that Andy be absolutely brutal in his commentary.
If only Mysticum's name were Christos Owen.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Alright, looks like we're starting up here. Whose tracker do you want to take, DT's or Mysticum's?
I'll take Mysticum.
Okay.
His name is kind of close to mine.
Close.